What's the best comp for pushing campaign now? I use a variety. This is my default. So my most default is this. And then I just kind of change as needed. So this is my default. Red Hood is the burst 1 buffer. Modernia burst first and then Alice burst second. Now if the fight lasts longer, I replace Litter, Red Hood with Litter, and I replace Alice with Red Hood. So in that situation, so that way I can I burst with Modernia and burst with Red Hood. Sometimes now with Scarlet coming in, Modernia can be actually replaced with the new Scarlet, and they actually kind of function similarly. Now the main difference though is if you need that extra 5 seconds, Modernia comes out really useful. And then if you don't need that extra 5 seconds, then Scarlet. I would say when she shines about like when there's like 5 to 7 enemies or something. Basically not as much enemies as Modernia can handle. So Modernia excels a lot more when there's like way more enemies. But when there's just a few extra enemies, then Scarlet Black Shadow is better because once you destroy those other enemies, she can start focusing on the elite boss. And then there's another thing that I want to point out. So this is another team. So instead of Alice, it would be Snow White. So in this situation, you burst AoE with Modernia, clear the mobs, and then when the boss spawns, you burst with Snow White and fuck him up, right? So that's the team, and then you can replace Modernia again similarly with Scarlet Black Shadow. And then Maxwell is basically you just replace that. But in general, you need like an AoE, right? So in the AoE dealer that you need, it would be Modernia or Scarlet, or sometimes you could even do also kind of like Alice too, and something like this. So if you need to destroy the elites a lot more, alternatively, you know, if the boss lasts or the fight lasts longer, then you can do something like this. Again, I'm just kind of basically rotating those top units. Those are the main things. And it's basically Naga. Naga are just better than bunnies. You just have to manual control them, but they are better than bunnies. They can push you way farther, almost like end game. Almost everyone uses that, and if they end up like using bunnies, typically their power level is lower or higher compared to the Naga. Naga can function at a way lower CP penalty. Mind you, out of all of that, I never mentioned the normal Scarlet. Yeah, I mean, like, you can just slap her, I guess. The normal Scarlet kind of functions similarly to Modernia and the new Scarlet, but the issue is her AoE is more instantaneous, so it's just gonna wipe whatever's on your screen, but then there's no follow-up to that. So that's the issue with regular Scarlet. That's my campaign team. You just basically rotate kind of like those kind of units, Modernia, Snow White, Maxwell, and then now the new Scarlet is something that I actually am slowly entertaining, and then these units.